Welcome to the Strong Youth Project, where our mission is to improve organized sport experiences for youth, parents, coaches, and other mentors via education and evidence-based practice. All right. Welcome everyone. We're doing our first ever podcast recorded in my office. I have some home court advantage here. I'm with Jennings Janot, who's a student lead for our communications team, co-lead along with Savannah Dixon. Savannah, this is your first formal experience with Strong Youth Project. So do you want to take 30 seconds and tell the audience about yourselves?
My name's Jennings Janot, like you said. I'm an undergrad student at BYU, majoring in exercise science. This is my senior year I'm going into, and I'll be doing PT school after this, physical therapy school. So I grew up playing sports. I love sports, and I know their benefits. So that's why I'm a part of the Strong Youth Project.
Fantastic. I love the fact that Jennings grew up on a cattle ranch.
Yeah, I grew up on a cattle ranch.
On how many thousands of acres?
I don't even know. I know we had 44,000 head. It wasn't my ranch, my family's ranch, but I grew up on it. It was fun.
Fantastic. Savannah?
Yes, I'm Savannah Dixon. I'm from San Diego, California, and I'm an undergrad student studying public relations. I'm starting my junior year. I'm super excited and hope to go into sports PR when I graduate.
Fantastic. I'm really excited to have both Jennings and Savannah, but today especially Jennings, and I think you'll understand why. Savannah actually knows what she's doing when trying to raise awareness to the public.
Yeah.
So,
like I said, I'm an exercise science major. A lot of us are, so we're passionate about this. We just don't really know.
To some extent, it's been the blind leading the blind.
Yeah, exactly.
Regarding the first aim of the Strong Youth Project, which is to communicate scientific-backed evidence to the public, right? So, fantastic. Thanks for being here. We'll see how this goes today. I'm excited to try it. One thing that the Strong Youth Project has done for me is it's made me more comfortable trying new things. So I want both of you to relax and just know that we're all trying new things together. So the agenda today is we wanted to talk first about what we've accomplished in the last 12 months, which it was an educational experience for me as I sat down about a month ago and I started to think about what we've accomplished. Jennings, you've been along for the ride just for the last few months. What stands out to you?
Yeah. My first real participation with the Strong Youth Project was with the Strong Youth Conference. I was reaching out to people, inviting them to that. So that's really stood out to me. Both the excitement for it, we sold out, which we weren't expecting to do. So just to see how many people are passionate about the subject and how many people are out there that want to learn how to improve it. Improve sports. That stood out a lot, and just seeing the excitement. It's nice because I feel like we're not having to sell anything, right? Where this is something everyone's interested in. Nobody's like, no, I don't want to improve youth sports. So it's been nice to see, as I've been along, the excitement of everyone that we reach out to and that's involved.
Right. So I think the Strong Youth Conference was perhaps the highlight of the last 12 months for me related to the Strong Youth Project. The students pitched the idea in January, and I was super hesitant at the time. I'd never done anything like that. And we committed, though, and I learned an important lesson personally. I learned that commitment needs to come before action, if you will. So you got to commit, and in a way you're exhibiting faith. You're committing, and then you're all in. So we went for it. We decided to cap the attendance at 200 attendees, and for 3 months, hardly anyone registered. I was nervous. I woke up many times in the middle of the night thinking it was a bad idea. But then in the last few weeks, people started to register. And like Jennings said, we had a full house of 200 people. They were a lot of adolescent athletes. We had a lot of BYU students. We had some athletic directors from the area. We had some Parks and Rec people. We had physicians, athletic trainers, physical therapists. We had faculty from BYU attend. We heard breakout sessions on athletic injury, sleep, mental health, body image, self-esteem, strength and conditioning. It was fantastic. I think it was very serendipitous that Ed Eyestone was our keynote. Ed's had just an outstanding meteoric year. Even for Ed Eyestone standards, his year has been special. I think he would agree with that. So it was fantastic. So And it sparked a lot of attention for the Strong Youth Project. We did lots of interviews with the popular media afterwards. I fulfilled a lifelong dream of getting an NPR spot. That was fun. Went up to Salt Lake and talked to KUTV. KSL did an interview. We had lots of attention. So, yeah, it was fantastic.
And if I can add, those sessions are now on YouTube. So if anyone missed it, they can go through and watch all the breakout sessions. They can listen to Ed Eyestone, anything like that where they want to. So
yeah,
a quick little plug to YouTube, I guess.
No, that's awesome. I after I heard Braden Brown, now all the breakout sessions were good, don't get me wrong, but Braden Brown's session on mental health, yeah, I told Kira, my wife, everyone should watch that every year.
Yep.
Turn that off.
Every week, probably. Every time you're like, I don't know if I can do whatever I'm doing.
Yeah, I think every morning, if I had 50 minutes to spend every morning, I'd listen to Braden's pep talk. He talked about self-talk. He talked about how what we say to ourselves, it really matters. It really matters. So.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah, so the Strong Youth Conference was a great accomplishment. We've made lots of friends in the community in the last year. It's still on aim one of educating youth sports stakeholders. We've made friends at high schools. We're now collaborating with Provo High School, Timpview High School. We've made friends with the Utah High School Cycling League. They have thousands of youth participants. Do either of you mountain bike?
No, I'm from Florida. They don't have mountains there. So
Being from California, no. But I love to go for bike rides and ride my bike.
All right. So I get to go to my first high school cycling event on the 14th. I'm looking forward to that.
That'll be awesome.
Shout out to Chris Best for inviting me and Michelle Lyman. Both of them attended the Strong Youth Conference. We've made friends with youth ski clubs, youth running clubs, city parks and rec departments. So we've done really well in the area of aim one, I think. And in the future, in the next 12 months, we really just hope to establish those ties. So Savannah, that's one of your tasks in the next 12 months.
Yes.
What do you plan on doing specifically to strengthen ties with local stakeholders?
Yeah, so we have made plans to reach out back to all of our stakeholders and more stakeholders too, and get in touch with them and set up meetings with them to talk about the things that the Strong Youth Project values, like nutrition, sleep, body image, and keep alerting them of the importance of maintaining positive youth sports and creating an experience that is going to establish healthy living for athletes for the rest of their lives, because ultimately that's what the main goal of this. And yeah, we're excited to see where everything goes and just keep expanding our network of people. I think the more that we're able to alert others in the area of the Strong Youth Project, the more people will be able to get on board, because it really is such an amazing initiative, and I'm really excited to get to work with it all this year.
A good example of what you're talking about, Savannah, is the Quarry, a rock climbing gym here in Provo, reached out to us just yesterday, and they wanted some speakers to come and talk to their young athletes about pre-event anxiety. And so we reached out to Dr. Michael Larson, a developmental psychologist on our team. And Michael, I know they're communicating about this now, but Michael is going to go speak to that group about how to manage pre-event anxiety. We've made wonderful friends at Baylor University, John and Cindy White, who are experts in the area of character development through sport. And Janae Nelson is a developmental psychologist at BYU. They're also going to go present at the Quarry and talk to parents and kids simultaneously about how sport, in this case climbing, can be used to develop character. I've learned in the last few months that character can be developed through sport, but it doesn't automatically happen. It's something that you have to conscientiously do. So I'm really excited to go meet the folks at the Quarry and help them. So
it'll be exciting. And it'll be awesome to, just like speaking with John and Janae, I know it'll be a good experience for everyone.
Yeah, if the audience hasn't listened to the podcast with between John and Janae, I think that was fantastic. something we've done in the last year is we've actually learned how to record a podcast, I think.
Yeah, they've gotten better and better. We'll see how this one is.
I look back at our first few and I'm embarrassed, but I understand that's part of the learning curve. When
we're learning, we're growing.
So,
exactly.
We're short on time, and I don't want to leave the other two aims under discussed. So, like I said, aim 1 is to communicate scientific evidence to youth sports stakeholders, all youth sports stakeholders, with a hyper focus on the kids, of course, but we want to improve the experience for parents, coaches, administrators. That's really important. Aim 2 is to conduct original research, and we've made some progress in that area as well in the last 12 months. We're now analyzing data from a small experiment that we conducted with some local youth athletes. This was an idea that was brought forth by, I think it was Peter Williamson's idea originally. He's a lacrosse coach. He wanted to investigate how different coaching cues influence athletic performance. So he designed an experiment, and with several of the students on the staff, he tested internal and external coaching cues, and we tested the influence of those cues on how far an athlete could jump, and this is near and dear to my heart, some of the movement biomechanics that occur as a result of the different cues. So you guys know what an internal or an external cue is when you're coaching? You know the difference?
I feel like I should.
I know.
Playing professor here on you. So if you're soccer is your game, right, Savannah? So if you're teaching an athlete how to correctly strike a soccer ball, an internal cue would be to tell them to focus on their knee joint angle or their velocity of their leg. An external cue would be to tell them to focus on the part of the net that they want to strike. What do you think is, I'm going to ask you to speculate, I'm putting you on the spot here. What do you think is more effective in soccer coaching, internal or external cues? What would you guess?
Internal?
Would you, I don't know the answer, by the way.
I would think internal.
I
I
do
feel like
know
it's
the answer
soccer.
to the next question. I'll ask you both to guess. Which cue do you suspect motivates or helps young athletes to jump farther, internal or external? And I'll give you the example of the cues. Internal cue was to throw your arms as fast and as far forward as possible. The external cue was to focus on a cone that we placed beyond anywhere that the athlete could have possibly jumped. Which cue was more effective? We've learned some interesting things. Which cue is more effective in helping the athlete jump far?
My guess is internal, but I don't know if that's...
I was going to say internal.
All right. If I go to Vegas anytime in the future, I'm not taking either of you with me because you're wrong. It was external. The external cue, we told them to focus on that cone and jump as near that cone as possible, and the kids were able to jump far.
Well, that makes sense, especially with youth. I feel like they might not understand, like, twerk my leg. You know what I mean? Like, concepts
Stuff
like
like
that as
that,
well.
yeah.
I don't know the cause, but it was interesting, and so that may help coaches moving forward motivate their athletes in different ways. It appears that, at least in the case of young athletes who are trying to jump far and fast, external cues are more effective. Let me tell you about the research project that I'm most excited about. We got some money. We hit our first big grant. We got a grant to study a grant to execute a project that's been designed to clarify the causes of musculoskeletal injury in high school athletes. So I'm really excited to partner with Timpview High School and Provo High School, both local high schools, and we're going to collect data on 12 different teams at the two high schools. We're going to collect data on risk factors that we know are associated with injury, like sleep, mental health, movement biomechanics, nutrition, pain and soreness, hydration. Yeah, so we're gonna, and we've done, researchers have studied these factors previously, but no one's ever put them all together for adolescent athletes. So that's the exciting part of this study, is we're gonna simultaneously study these factors because they're probably all influencing injury risk at the same time. So we're gonna study all of these factors simultaneously on the same athletes. One exciting part of this study is we're providing a report to the coaches every day describing the state of their athletes. We're hoping that can better inform them and allow them to tailor their training programs to their teams every day. And then we're also going to record injuries. We're going to document the injuries. And at the end of a season, we're going to throw all the risk factors and the injuries in a pot, and we're going to try, statistically, we're going to try and elucidate or uncover a relationship, a multivariate relationship between the risk factors and the injuries. Did that make sense?
That made sense. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, that sounds so cool.
Yeah. We're partnering with Intermountain Health on that because their physicians and their athletic trainers play an important role at those particular high schools. So we're really excited about that. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Good stuff. And hopefully, it sounds like it'll be beneficial to the coaches, like you said, to know what's going on with their athletes. I think it'd be cool long term if that becomes almost the standard of understanding the players and what they're feeling and how we can help them to not get hurt.
For sure. If there are any high school coaches out there listening to this, bless you, first of all. Thanks for your patience. If you want to get in on something like this, I would love to meet with you, and we can set this. It's a digital platform that we send a text to the athlete each day, and the athlete fills out a survey every day. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we produce a report for the coach at the same time each day. So if there's a coach out there listening wants to get in on that, I'd love to share that technology with you. So that's exciting. I mentioned 12 teams at 2 different high schools. It's my vision next year. Perhaps we have 12 teams at 30 different high schools.
So is it
trying to make this scalable?
12 teams total or 12 teams from each?
6 teams at each school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what sports?
Yeah, so thus far, we try to pick different teams at the schools. Ultimately, we let the athletic director and the athletic trainers at the schools decide. We're trying to work with coaches who are progressive and forward-thinking, who value science. And thus far, we've worked with a cross-country team, girls soccer team, swim teams, girls basketball, and a cheerleading team. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see. My background is, Savannah, you might not know this yet, but my background is in athletic injury and preventing athletic injury. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. We're starting another research project that I'm super excited about. I know less about it, but John White and Cindy White at Baylor and Janae Nilsson at BYU, they're all, Janae is a developmental psychologist. John is actually a theologian. And they're all interested in using sport to improve character for youth. And that's so important, right? Yeah, so sport, my dad used to say that sport doesn't build character, it builds characters. That's what my dad used to say. We're going to try and disagree with that, and we're going to try and teach kids and parents how to build character through sport. Things like leadership, respect, loyalty, resilience. Yeah, and really important here at BYU, and I think it's important to people everywhere, is faith. Faith in a higher power, faith in God. John is absolutely enthusiastic about that topic. He believes that faith and sport go hand in hand. And so John and Janae and Cindy are going to work with the Shooters Soccer Club here in Utah County, and they're testing some interventions on those kids and those parents, and they're trying to better understand how we can more effectively build character through sport. So we're doing some research. Yeah.
Exciting things are coming.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's a snowball. Yeah. It's growing. So.
Yeah, and what I like about I think this goes into most areas we're covering, but especially with character, I feel like that will apply to their entire life. The athlete's entire life, not just, oh, how do I have character right now in sports, but it's going to, throughout their entire life, hopefully they build a character that lasts.
Yeah, and that's attainable for everyone. Something John says, and I wholeheartedly agree, is you can build resilience, grit, if you want to call it that. You can do that. That's attainable. Division I scholarship, state championship, professional contract, that's not attainable for everyone. And if that's your end goal, you're setting yourself up for failure. If your end goal is to build a better human being, one who can be resilient in the workplace, one who can be loyal in the family, that's attainable, and sport can be a tremendous influence in that regard.
Totally.
So Savannah, I know you were a soccer player,
Yes.
probably still are. You play
a little
recreational,
bit.
yeah. What'd you learn from sport in the way of character, if I can put you on the spot? Did you learn character from
Yes,
sport?
I think, or I know that growing up playing soccer taught me so much about how to like bounce back from failure. If you miss a shot, if you get pushed off the ball, if you have a bad pass, being able to like come back from that and still be able to finish out and play a good game has taught me, or has helped me learn to apply that to like all aspects of my life. If something goes wrong in school or just in life, to be able to realize, okay, something happened that isn't great, but I can still maintain a good outcome on whatever I'm doing. Or even it's just I'm having kind of a rough day, I'm able to like change my attitude and realize, okay, just because something bad happened, it's not the end of the world. It's okay. I'm going to learn and get better, and everything works out if you put in the hard work.
Yeah, fantastic. Justin, whom you have not met yet, Justin, the co-founder of the Strong Youth Project, is a soccer coach. He always says that a soccer game is a perfect metaphor for life.
It totally is. Yeah.
Right? So, yeah. My wife, she's kind of a weirdo when it comes to this stuff, but she loves to see our kids lose. She loves it because it's teaching them to rebound from loss. So.
And in life, there's a lot of times where metaphorically you could be losing in something, but what matters is how you respond to it. And soccer has taught me how to control, or taught me that I can control what I can control, and that's what I need to focus on.
Yeah, fantastic. I'd say in my life I've lost a lot. So I lose every day, right? Every day something goes wrong. So it's important to know how to handle that.
Exactly. And all the things we talk about with character building, I think is what's so important and a huge factor in the Strong Youth Project, because at the end of the day, we're trying to build athletes that are going to have a healthy lifestyle for the rest of their lives. And just like Jennings said, building character is just as important as that too.
Yeah, fantastic. So, what else do we want to talk about? Training. Oh yeah. Aim 3 training.
Yeah.
Aim 3. Aim 3 is to design and deliver evidence-based training curricula to organizations, and this has been the underutilized aim up to this point. But with John and Janae and Justin's collaborative efforts, we're now developing some curriculum that have been designed to build character. So that's where we're starting. We're starting with shooters. We're in the very preliminary stages. I'm hesitant to say much because, well, let me just say this is really exciting. This is not an unintentional teaser here. We're working with the BYU athletic team and local adolescent athletes to develop a partnership where the collegiate athletes use a curriculum to teach the younger adolescent local athletes about character.
That'll be awesome.
And I'm super excited about this idea because this is going to benefit the collegiate athlete and it's going to benefit the adolescent athletes as well. So that's one of the things we plan on doing for AIM 3 in the next 12 months. I have a meeting about that tomorrow, so hopefully more on that can be announced soon.
That's exciting.
In addition to that, related to AIM 3, we've also, BYU students have spent a lot of time training young athletes. When I say training, in this case, I'm talking about physical training, things like strength and conditioning, speed and agility. BYU students in exercise sciences have had some great experiences with young athletes in the community, and that's been meaningful too. So we're making some progress on AIM 3, but in my opinion, AIM 3 is lagging a little bit behind
We'll get there.
AIMS 1 and 2. Yeah, for sure.
I think it's important. I think that's where we're getting communication as well. But I think training's where we're really going to be training people on how to improve youth sports, and that's when impact might be made.
Right. Jennings, why the Strong Youth Project?
Yeah.
Why are you interested?
Yeah. I think, like I said, I grew up playing sports. I grew up working too on a ranch, and I think those things contributed to a lot of who I am. But I think one major problem we have in the country, at least from what I see, is the health of people, whether it's mental or physical. And I think sports can build athletes, youth, that will turn into adults who will live healthy lifestyles. And so that's my biggest passion about with the Strong Youth Project. That's why I went into the health sciences kind of field. So Yeah, that's
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know about 70% of kids drop out of organized sport by about age 13.
Yeah.
And those kids are significantly less likely to be physically active adults. And that's a big problem. So, go ahead.
If I can add on to that, I think those kids that drop out are more likely to quit a job when it gets hard and quit on other things or drop out of other things. I know one rule my parents had for me is if I started a sports season, I couldn't quit it. The next year I could play a different sport if I'd rather, but I couldn't quit that sport that year. I committed for the season to do it. And so I think sports teaches principles like that as well.
I'd be interested to know if the data support that idea, Jennings.
I that's just my thought.
That's interesting. So I think I'm going to speculate here. It probably depends on what they do after, right? Maybe they go find a marching band to participate in, or the chess club, or some other organization that they can throw their efforts into. Savannah, how about for you? Why the Strong Youth Project?
I think the Strong Youth Project is so amazing because it puts such an emphasis on creating a person who is going to continue to live a healthy lifestyle for the rest of their lives. I'm a huge believer in daily exercise, eating healthy, and doing the things to help your body be able to sustain itself and let your body do the things that it wants to do for a long time. Continue to run marathons, go on crazy long bike rides, or swim, master swimming, or do whatever your body wants to for a really long time up until your old age. And the habits that you create as a youth are so crucial in developing those patterns that are going to last you for the rest of your life. I grew up playing soccer. My family is a huge sports family. We all played sports. We all played multiple sports. And having that growing up has just taught me so many life lessons that I think all youth need to learn at some point or another, because it's helped me so much in college and in working and whatnot. So I think that what the Strong Youth Project has to teach is so crucial and is so needed as the world continues to develop. And I think that statistics are going to keep increasing with youth that are dropping out of sports, which is so sad because I feel like everyone should be able to have the opportunity to play a sport, and even when things don't go their way in sports, have the mental strength to bounce back and keep going.
Yeah, we talked a lot about mental health, character. We talked a lot about character today. Yeah. But at the core of this, for me at least, is the physical activity. So sport is a fantastic way to maintain physical activity. I have a goal in life, a personal goal, to never have to turn down an invitation because I can't do it physically. That's one of my goals. That's why I train. That's why I play sport. So, all right, let's call that a wrap. Hey, thanks everyone for joining us today. It's been a fun conversation with two of the newest student members of the Strong Youth Project team, Savannah Dixon and Jennings. Do you have any parting shots? I'll let you have the last word. Jennings, anything?
No, I'm excited. This is a good cause.
All right, Jennings is a man of few words.
Yeah.
Savannah?
I'm excited for this, and let's get after it. Let's all do something active today.
Fantastic. Thanks so much to both of you. It's been fun.